Hello everyone, my name is Andrew, I love sci-fi, and today I'm going to review Strange New Worlds' latest episode, The Serene Squall. Before I dive into the review, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more updates to this channel. So let's begin. The Enterprise is off on a humanitarian mission to escort some colonists through a rough patch of space. And as is common in science fiction, the colony ship has already been hijacked by pirates, and as they investigate, everything quickly turns upside down. Pike and the landing party are captured, the Enterprise is boarded and quickly taken over, and the only ones left out in the open are Nurse Chapel, Mr. Spock, and our new friend, Dr. Aspen. As Pike tries to dismantle the motivations of the pirates, Spock and Nurse Chapel work together to restore control of the Enterprise just enough to send a distress call, only to be cursed by someone's inevitable but yet very not surprising betrayal. Dr. Aspen is really Captain Angel of the Serene Squall. Her mission? To free Spock's one and only half-brother, Sybok, whom I've personally been waiting to have mentioned since Discovery Season 2. While the plot seems fairly standard, I have to take a step back and applaud Star Trek for what it did in this episode. The theme of this episode was identity. I know many of us have been struggling to figure out what we are. It was awfully fitting that Keel delivered this address, encouraged Spock to find out who he is and not define himself by Vulcan or human, define his own path. And I think that is really true to Spock's character, especially as how we know Spock has developed through Leonard Nimoy. And I think this is true for many of us, trying to figure out who we are and not what we are. If there's one thing I've been learning in the last couple of years, it is not what I do that defines me, it's who I am, and determining who I am as a person. Who am I? Who is Andrew? Who is this Andrew that loves sci-fi? And that has been an interesting journey for me. And there have been a lot of revelations along the way, especially in the last couple years. And I'm happy to be embracing myself for who I am and what I believe, and not allow that to be defined by others. And I think that is an encouraging message for all of us. I think this episode was very inspired. I think the acting was on point all the way around. Kudos to Jesse James Keel for delivering such impactful monologues and providing some very interesting character motivations along the way. I think this was a great episode for Spock. I think we learned a lot more about Spock without damaging the character that we know and love. In fact, I think this episode really enhances the character. I know my wife even said that if this had been the very first episode of Star Trek she had ever seen, she would have been hooked instantly. And I think that's high praise to the creative team for doing such an excellent job. You know, I think Strange New Worlds has been hitting incredible topics left and right, from the flashpoints of society to understanding empathy, to now even identity, and just so much more. And when you take a step back and you look at the entire franchise, from Discovery to Lower Decks and Picard, you see what it's been giving us. I mean, Discovery has been giving us a lot more about inclusion and acceptance, and you take a step back and you look at Picard, and while it is giving us a more rounded version of Jean-Luc, it's also showing his own traumas and how he's been able to heal and move past those. And then, of course, you get Prodigy, where there's teamwork within diversity. If IDIC anybody? Anyone? And then, of course, there's Lower Decks, which really is just a wonderful love letter to Star Trek. And when you take a step back and you look at it all, you realize that Star Trek really is needed in this time that we're all living in right now, in this modern age, where ideologies are clashing left and right. And it's time that we learn that Vulcan mantra, IDIC, infinite diversity and infinite combinations. It's very poignant right now with Pride Month and Juneteenth just around the corner. I think as we move into the future, if humanity can learn to accept and include one another, and we can work together to solve massive problems and stop fighting so much all these different ideologies, I think humanity can see Star Trek really come into fruition. That's all I have for now. It was a great episode. Kudos for bringing Sybok back. It'll be interesting to see if anything happens with that later on. Until next week, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe for more content, and until I see you next time, live long and prosper.